Oh, by the way, if meanwhile you die as well, the possibility to accept or refuse passes to your sons or daughters, for instance, or to your spouse. This was the case. A mother died, leaving 2 daughters. They didn't accept immediately the inheritance, and one of the 2 died. So only the right one, dressed in black, survived. The point was that this situation was relevant for taxation law because let's assume that, and this was the case, the inheritance was 500,000 euro. And the tax deduction for relationship between mother and daughter was 500,000. Now the point is that the 2 daughters inherited 250,000 each, tax-free. But since the first daughter died, the surviving daughter, inherited 205,000 from the mother, tax-free, and 250,000 from the daughter, the sister, from the sister, you see the other black line, taxed. The point was, for the surviving sister, can I refuse the inheritance on behalf of my sister and accept it directly from my mother? Because you understand, you know what I mean. If the black sister can refuse the inheritance on behalf of the other sister, that means that he takes the 500,000 directly from the mother, tax-free. Can she make that decision? Under civil law, she can. It's a matter of civil law. And I try to explain it more accurately. Sorry, back on one point. For our Internal Revenue Service, that refusal is an abuse of law. That refusal is an abuse of law. You cannot refuse on behalf of your sister and accept the entire amount from your mother, because the reason of that refusal is just only the opportunity to enjoy a higher tax exemption when you get the money from your mother. At the end of the day, and at the end of the story, the surviving sister gets 500,000 euro. But if she is allowed to refuse, he gets 500,000 euro tax-free. Civil law authorizes that. Tax law, abuse of law doctrine, does not today in Italy. Another case, which is very important for us, Supreme Court 4737/2010. I picked this case because it's very important, it's very serious, not because it concerns taxation, but because it concerns soccer, and I know that's very important for you, for your country, like for my country, and not for other country that systematically lose the final match through decades. Well, the point was that in this situation we got a soccer player that entered into a contract with the Italian soccer club. So the Italian soccer club hired him for that, but at the same time he attributed the personal right. Oops, I'm running other 5 minutes perhaps. Attributed some rights of his personality, particularly the exploitation of his image, to another company. So this soccer player gets some euro from the Italian soccer team, and that Italian soccer team pays another amount of euro to a company resident in another tax jurisdiction for the possibility to exploit the image or the other intangible rights concerning that soccer player. Is that possible or not? I'm just skipping some passage because we are at the end of the day. Now it's not possible in Italy. It's not possible for our Supreme Court, in the case mentioned before. You cannot split that easily the same assets related to an individual. They say, look, if you are a soccer player and you enter into a contract regulating your sports or your personal activity, you cannot split what you do from what you are. And we have to look at the entire transaction as one. If you get 100 euro in Italy for your activity on the field, and 1 million euro in a low tax jurisdiction for your image concerning the soccer tournament or whatever, then you got to pay taxes on Italy on 1,100,000 euro. Because the splitting of the assets, image, and activity is another kind of abuse of law. Avoidance, abuse, and real estate, example number 3. This is taken by another tax, not direct taxes. We have a real estate tax, we call them in Italian ICI, tax paid on real estate, on the value of the real estate. You get a house worth 1 million euro, congratulations, and you got to pay every year an amount of tax on that. The point is that tax is applicable to every kind of real estate, but some very specific buildings, such as churches, monasteries perhaps, and to real estate lands or even buildings, in some case, that are, I don't know whether the word is appropriate in English or not, ancillary. In Italy, the word is accessorio, pertinenziale, accessorio, in connection with another real estate. If this connection occurs, then you pay taxes only on the larger estate, and the second, the smaller, the ancillary one, is tax-free. In this specific case, there's another example. A company owned 2 areas suitable to be used for building purposes. It built on the first one and paid taxes, and considered the second one as ancillary to the former. They said, look, I built a palace, a skyscraper perhaps, and considered the second one as a parking facility to the first. So I'm going to pay taxes on the first, but not on the second.